guys, welcome back to our YouTube channel. As we said earlier, going through the comments, a lot of you said to get mics, so we decided to get some mics, as you can tell on us here.
It's a lot better. Hopefully the sound quality is more listenable. That's our goal.
Yes, but for today we have something kind of cool we want to show you guys. This was really our first unique steak we were able to stumble upon, and that is going to be our green tree python. So there was a comment also talking about how they wanted to see cage setups. So
we have had her for a couple months now, and we got the cage when we got her as well. It's a 18 by 18 by 30, and we didn't really do a whole lot. We have a cork background, kind of as you can see. It's kind of like a wood bark background, and just a couple of sticks we found outside. We put them in the oven to clean them, obviously. And now we have planted some plants in there. Sometimes they do really good, sometimes they don't do great. The plants that you see are peperomia. They really like the humidity that we have in the air. And yeah, we have a layer at the bottom for a drainage layer. There's some mold going on. It's an ongoing process, and then we have dirt, and then we have bark as our top layer. So a lot of good humidity trapping, and it seems to work fairly well because she sheds really nice. So yeah, and also big water dish is always essential to having high humidity. As you can see, the mist system is now actively working. Apparently we hit the hour mark, so. Green tree pythons are naturally found in the wild in New Guinea and parts of Australia. They are rainforest animals, so they like the heat and humidity. And as you can see, the downside of her setup is that it's kind of a pain to get her out without taking out all the sticks depending on where she's at. So we just remove all of her sticks.
And we also remove the sticks because these snakes can be cage defensive. So what that means is they kind of have their territory and they don't like you poking around in their territory. But if you get them out, they are perfectly fine. Love if you want to close that door so it gets humid in there.
Sure.
And then we'll show you kind of how humid it gets in there. But once she gets out, she's perfectly friendly, she's perfectly happy, and she loves to be out. We kind of let her take her time getting onto us. We don't want to grab her or stress her out. It does hurt if you get nailed by her. Yeah.
She has some pretty fierce teeth.
She does.
So these snakes are arboreal, which means they like to stick to the treetops. They feel pretty safe there, which also coincides with what they eat. They are, when they're young, they mainly eat diurnal invertebrates because they're kind of closer to the ground when they're young, just with their colors. We'll go over that in just a second. But when they are adults and they have this green color, they blend in really, really well with foliage, which helps save them from some of their predators. Their main predator is owls and a species of blackbird that's found in that area. So they can be a little bit defensive when they're in their trees, which is understandable.
Yeah. As she said, most of these snakes, or all of them, are arboreal dwelling. So they are in the python family. So if any of you have heard of a carpet python, quick side note, carpet python, can't see her very well, but if any of you have heard of a carpet python, these guys are actually really close related. And the fun fact is people actually crossbreed, green tree pythons and carpet pythons to make a really cool mix. But as you can see, she's coming out just fine. Hey, yeah, see, she's a little defensive. She comes up, she's just friendly. Ooh, easy. For personality wise, there's been studies on these guys. They really have two postures is what I'm gonna say. So they have a resting posture and a feeding posture. So the resting posture is what you saw in the beginning of this video, them, you know, laid over a branch, for lack of better words, and resting. You'll see their head sometimes when it rains, they tuck their head in, so you can't really see their head and it just looks like a slinky on a branch. And then their hunting posture, let's see if I can get her in focus here, is going to be something more of a striking pose. So let's see if we can get her in that, right? So if we grab her, kind of mess with her here, and she doesn't want it, she wants to run. Here, I can take the log from you, love.
Thanks.
Maybe.
Once she's off, she's almost there. The other thing about her is she has a voracious appetite. She is always hungry. We come in the night once it's dark out, and we'll find her just sitting, staring at the glass, waiting for her to... She just wants us to feed her.
We can see if we can get a video of that as well. That is quite the funny thing. She's our little nighttime predator. But that's kind of some fun facts. The color thing Leia mentioned earlier is going to be ontogenetic. Ontogenic, something along those lines, something fancy.
You butchered that one.
Okay, after a quick Google search, ontogenetic, pardon, ontogenetic color change. So that's basically from when they're a baby to when they are an adult, they will change colors. We will post a study that was done on this for green tree pythons down in the description if you guys really want to get fancy with it. So as a baby, you'll find green tree pythons either as that really bright red or that really bright yellow. It depends on region. The bright red babies are a lot more rare and usually found closer to New Guinea versus the yellow ones are found on the edge of rainforests over in Australia. So those are your two colors. Why they're those colors, though, is kind of interesting. So when they're babies, they tend to stay more towards the forest floor. What they hunt are small invertebrates, lizards, things like that. And with that, they need to be able to camouflage themselves in the leaf litter on the ground. Not only that, they need to be able to hide themselves in the leaf litter on the ground from the predators that we talked about earlier, which are
black butcherbirds and rufous owls.
Those two, they only last that way for about 6 to 12 months, and then they change into their adult greens when they go up into the canopies and start hunting larger prey.
And as you can see, she has still some flecks of yellow. We're not sure how old she is. We didn't get her when she was a baby. She was more of a rescue situation. She was kind of neglected at the place she was at before, and so she has come a long way. She had really bad shed problems and some mild respiratory issues, but now, as you can see, if the camera will focus, she is looking so much better. She has these pretty scales that are hints of black and blue. She really wants to just get right up in there with the camera. And on her face, she has a lot more of those blue scales.
Another cool thing these wonderful guys have, like most steaks, are heat sensors on the front of their face. So what that allows is, we'll try to get some good video later on, but what that allows them to do is to be able to sense prey. So it's something called thermal imaging. So what thermal imaging is if you've ever seen a thermal scope, let's say, if you're into that kind of stuff, it basically highlights warm areas of the room. So if
she's basically Predator.
Yes, lack of better words, yeah, she's Predator, kind of awesome. But that's how these guys hunt. They use that thermal imaging to help them because they do not have the best eyesight in the world. So that's kind of our green tree python. As Leia said, we stumbled upon her. The person who was taking care of her was neglecting her. She had bad scales. She had several stuck on sheds. She had respiratory issues. She did live in the same enclosure. We did tear it apart, clean it, and make it look all good. This is how it was kind of before we got her. There weren't a lot of arboreal places. There weren't a lot of sticks. Once again, this isn't even the most ideal enclosure we would like to have her in. We'd like to have her in a bigger one, but being broke college kids and not a lot of money or room, we don't really have the room for that. So that's why we're doing this YouTube channel, right? Spread what we have, the cool facts about them, hopefully be able to show you guys some cool ways to better take care of these animals and to learn alongside us, because we are by no means expert on these animals. So we want to learn with you guys. And that's kind of all about our green tree python, whose name is Basil, by the way. We haven't told you guys yet, but that's what we got about her. She's really awesome. We love her. We hope you guys love her. And thanks for sticking around and watching our second video. Bye, guys.